Alright, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been wanting to see Azuma's response to finding out that Tokyo has become a Choujin. I was wondering if it would cause jealousy and a rift in their relationship. But at this point, it looks like it's mostly guilt and shame that Azuma feels, to the point that he can't even bear to see Tokyo face to face. I'm guessing that Azuma feels responsible and blames himself for Tokyo's current condition. Because right now, poor Tokyo is stuck with a giant bird beak, and I think he's going to be stuck in this form for a while until he's able to create his own identity for himself outside of his dependency on Azuma. I believe this based off of something Azuma said. In this chapter, Azuma suggests that the form a Choujin takes is based on their desire. That's part of the catalyst for becoming a Choujin. You have to desperately want something, and in the moment that Tokyo injected himself, he desperately wanted to be with his best friend. He was thinking of his trip to the zoo with Azuma, where he was called a vulture, so that's what he became. It's going to be really interesting to see how Azuma and Tokyo's relationship is going to be affected in the long run, though. Whether they can mend the relationship or whether there's going to be even more friction between the two of them. Okay, enough about Azuma and Tokyo though. Next, I have to talk about the elephant in the room, this mystery antagonist who's looking like he's shaping up to be a big baddie, if not the big baddie of the series. We don't have a name for him yet, but he's theatrical and flamboyant, and he dresses in Hermes shoes and a tux with coattails. He's over the top and melodramatic, and I'm hesitant to call him a Furuta clone just yet, though, since we've yet to hear his motivations, or his backstory, or what his endgame is. He may not be a Furuta type clown, but he is indeed a clown type character. As Sen, who is a wonderful translator, pointed out, he's wearing a no mask. So I decided to do some digging and see if there's any special meaning behind that. From what I've read, No is a traditional musical drama where a supernatural creature takes a human form in order to tell a story to the audience. So I'm curious what kind of story this Choujin has to tell humanity. One other interesting detail I noticed about him is that if you look at panels of his hands close up, they're covered in stitches around his wrists as if his hands have been lopped off and then reattached again. I'm curious who helped stitch him back up, and if he has any special connections to a doctor or a hospital, because that would also explain how he was able to track down Johnny and know that his arms were busted up in the first place. I'm curious if he chooses candidates for his Choujin experiment based on hospital patient records. Lastly, I've just got a fangirl about those last two panels because that was savage. Johnny tells the mystery villain to do whatever he wants since he knows already that he's going to die. And we just get these wordless panels of the mystery villain pausing and tilting his head before roundhouse kicking Johnny's head off. That was cold. So yeah, I'm really curious to find out more about this new clown's motivations, and I'm also really curious to find out what he looks like behind the mask, because if he's a hot villain, that will be the death of me. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Choujin X Chapter 3. If I missed any details, or if you have any theories, let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.